Welcome to the September the 28th, 2004 taping of It Happened in Grand Prairie, as we bring you the history of our city and people that just really keep making history even this very day, and that is the case again. And we're so pleased to have back with us Esmeralda Rodriguez. And Esmeralda, welcome back to the set, my dear.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yes, it's great. And you're such a wonderful person because we're celebrating all of the rest of the month from the 15th or the 16th for Hispanic Heritage Month.
That is correct.
And you are really a heritage item for the city of Grand Prairie, Texas. And so we just knew that you would want to come back and tell us about yourself and have a good time on the show because you've been with us on the other shows in the past, but there's a lot of good updating to do on you, isn't there?
Yes, thank you.
Well, I'd like for you to look out in your camera to Ron, and I'd like for you to tell us about the real Esmeralda. Now, beginning back, tell me about your parents and give their names and your mother's maiden name and your brothers and sisters if you had them, because siblings are very important to us, aren't they?
That is correct.
Good.
Well, I'm Esmeralda Rodriguez, and my mom and dad are Jose and Maria Cortez. And my mom's maiden name is actually Maria Monria. Well, her full name is Heriberta, but she went by Maria. And I have several siblings that are still alive. I had my oldest brother, Jose Cortez, but he's deceased. Mm-hmm. And then I had my brother, Antonio, Tony Cortez, and Domingo, we call him Mingo Cortez.
Yes.
And then we have Valentin Cortez. And then we have my sister, Rosie.
Yes.
Cortez Mendez, and she actually works for our district.
Yes,
and
she does.
She's wonderful, and I know we'll get to talk a little bit about her because I know
Yes,
she's
we're
one
going
of
to talk about her
my
later,
mentors
aren't we?
too.
Yes.
And then I have my brother Silvestre Cortez, and we call him Chavo, as a matter of fact. And then I was the youngest.
The baby.
Yes.
And when you're the baby of the family, aren't you special?
Oh, yes.
Your mother will always consider you the real baby of the family, won't you?
That is correct.
Okay, and you were born when?
I was born on April 13, 1963.
Where?
In San Benito, Texas.
San Benito, Texas. Okay. And San Benito, that's down in the wonderful valley.
That is correct.
Okay, and your family, what did your dad do for a living?
My dad was actually, we were migrant workers growing up. So he was a, quote, they called back then a crew leader. So he would get all my family, immediate family, extended family, friends, neighbors that wanted to go work up north, and we'd travel. We'd go to Ohio, Michigan, different states like that, and we'd work in the fields. A lot of hard work. So he taught me a lot about work ethic, how important it was to value education and really work hard so we wouldn't have to be working out in the fields.
That's
all
wonderful.
our life.
Now, when you all would go north, and if any of this was in the school season, how would you catch up?
Well, let me tell you, my parents didn't go to school a lot when they were growing up, so they valued education. So even though we were traveling, they would make sure that as soon as we got to wherever we were going, they'd put us in school immediately, find out if there was any help available, and ask for it in however they could, and ask for any tutoring services in the morning or after school. And as a matter of fact, when I was growing up in San Benito, they knew that sometimes we'd leave around any time between March and April and come back until around October, November. So my mom knew like who to talk to and go ahead and ask if she didn't.
Yes.
To go ahead and get me some help with reading or whatever help I was needing at that time.
And when you were a young person and started to school for the first time, did you start in San Benito?
I actually did, and when I started, I did not know any English. I mean, it was hard. All we knew, I mean, at least when I was growing up, was Spanish, because in my family neighborhood, everybody spoke Spanish, so it was hard. It was hard to get in there and start learning English. However, I had a lot of good teachers and my parents that supported me, so that was really, really good.
That was great. And in the elementary levels, was there ever a teacher or two or three that really did go the second mile and was more than a teacher but a friend and a mentor? Would you like to name any of those?
I would. I can tell you, I know, and I shared with you that I had brought a book that I've carried around for 30 years, and sometimes when I present to teachers in the staff development and whatnot, I share Mrs. Peace. Back in 1974 in Delta, Ohio, she shared this book, Louis Braille, The Boy Who Invented Books for the Blind. Talks a lot about Helen Keller and about determination. And she wrote to me, Esme, you are a great student. Keep up the good work when you go to Texas. You know, I've carried this for 30 years because I was so, it was so awesome that the teacher took time to write something good about me and letting me know that I had a lot of potential.
And gave you the book.
Yes. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, I think that's awesome. That will be a treasure forever for
Yes,
you.
it will.
And I know your children will enjoy seeing that and seeing their mom's name written in that back in the 70s.
That's right.
Oh, that is really wonderful. Were there others? Did you have any in San Benito? Any other teachers?
I did. I actually had a 6th grade teacher because back then, you know, I mentioned we were migrant workers, and 6th grade, Mrs. Gonzalez, I never forget her. We would come from up north, and we actually were segregated. We weren't in the same regular classes. They would give us specialized instruction to get us up to where we needed to be with math and reading. And Mrs. Gonzalez was so awesome. You know that many times she gave up her lunchtime, and they didn't give any extra stipends or anything back then. And she would tutor us and work with us and teach us about dance and different things in addition to reading and math to make school a fun and safe environment. So I always remember her in 6th grade.
That was wonderful. And how long did it take you till you felt fairly comfortable using English?
I think it took me quite a while, probably till around 5th or 6th grade, where I started feeling more confident about my English, and it's something that I struggle with, but it's something that challenged me, that I knew that I wanted to be able to keep my Spanish, but also enhance it with English so I could go back, because my parents always taught us to give back to the community, so that's something I took very seriously.
And then now you find that it's invaluable that you're bilingual.
That is correct. It's been such a wonderful gift to share with people in the community.
Well, do you still have your parents living?
I do not. They're both deceased.
Yes.
But,
well, I'm sad that they cannot see the beautiful rose that has bloomed under their tutorage, too, because you know that they went not only the extra mile, but many miles, giving you home tutoring probably as you were going. That's wonderful. Now, after elementary school, what happened to Esmeralda?
Well, I went to middle school and high school, and we still went
Where
up
did you
north.
go?
Well, we went to San Benito High School, and I actually had a wonderful teacher there, Mr. Lara. I never forget him in my junior year. Had a lot of mixed messages about going to college and whatnot in the school, but my parents always encouraged us to go to college. They really wanted us to do even better than they had done. So I knew I was going to college. I didn't know how I was going to go to college, and Mr. Lara was very, very instrumental. He was the type of teacher that went the extra mile, you know, being a mentor. He was actually a retired fireman from San Benito, Texas, and he went into teaching as his second career. And he was so patient, not only with me, but several other students. And he was instrumental in getting us into this extracurricular activity where we would go and compete with other people on leadership skills. And he would help us access information about college. So he's another teacher that I remember in my junior year that was very, very instrumental in being a mentor to me.
And when you were in middle school or junior year, what was your favorite subject of all of the subjects that you had?
Of all the subjects that I had, I believe my favorite subject was English, believe it or not. Even though it was a challenge for me, I really liked English because I wanted to read and learn about things that were out there. So I really liked English a lot.
But still you were traveling and went to other high schools all over the United States?
Well, we went, actually when we would travel up north, I went up to my sophomore year in high school, and what they would do, they would put us all together. And that was not my favorite thing, to be honest, because you know we weren't in the same classes as other kids, and that was not something an experience that was very positive for me. However, I knew that that was something that I could keep dealing with and keep up with and get through so I could end up going to college. So I did it.
That's Wonderful. And then on to high school. Where did you start to high school?
I went to San Benito High School.
San Benito High School.
San Benito Greyhounds. Go
Oh,
Greyhounds.
all the Greyhounds. That's
That's
wonderful.
right.
I've been to the Greyhound races down in that area. So.
That's right.
And in high school, favorite teachers, favorite subjects? Did you have extracurricular activities other than your academics?
I did not have a whole lot of extracurricular activities up until maybe my junior year. I guess that was my favorite year. Was ballet folklorico and what was back then called PSAF, Pan American Student Forum, and we would go and compete like with dance or with cooking, and I liked that because it was very relevant to my background. A lot of the food that I was familiar with, so I enjoyed that very much. And I was also in the homemaking class.
Oh, great.
And we would do a lot of community service in that class.
That class.
Like a walkathon and things like that, so I enjoyed that.
After high school, what?
I went to junior college at Texas Southmost College in Brownsville, Texas.
Yes. And studied?
I just did my basics.
Basics?
Did basics. I knew I was going to go into social work, and I was going to transfer to a university in Edinburgh, close by. But I started at Texas Southmost first with my basics.
Why your choice of social work?
Because of my sister Rosie Mendez. Yeah, and she actually works for the district too as a safe and drug-free coordinator, and she was into social work, and she was going to college and working full-time. So I saw her and I was like, okay, she can do it, I can do it.
And
so,
because you were the baby and you had all
that's
these
right.
mentors in the family
That's
before
right.
you, didn't you?
That's right. And several of my brothers had gone to college before, and but I just found the social work field more interesting and more rewarding from seeing Rosie do it.
And after junior college?
After junior college, I went to Pan American University,
Pan
which is now
American.
part of UTA in
yes,
Edinburgh, Texas.
yes.
That's right.
And studied social work,
That is
continued?
right. Did my bachelor's in social work, got
Any
that
special
degree.
professors there?
I believe Dr. De Hoyo stands out for me. And to this day, I still communicate with him. I see him at conferences, and he encourages me to go back to school and get my doctoral degree. So that's something I keep in mind for the future.
That's next.
Yes, one
But
day.
then after Pan American, where?
I went to UTA here in Arlington, Texas, as a matter of fact. I stayed home for about 5 years to raise my two kids, Jose and Marissa. And while I would go to school in the evening, while my husband stayed with the kids and worked hard and got my master's degree in social work.
And you married at Pan American?
I married at Pan American, yes, with
Yes.
Israel Rodriguez.
Yes, Israel Rodriguez.
That is
That
correct.
is wonderful. What does he do for a living?
He is a technician for Raytheon, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
And,
about
I made
Raytheon.
him wait a little bit.
Yes,
He
yes.
got a degree at TSTI in Harlingen, and I wanted to get my 4-year degree, so he went back and got a second degree at TSTI while he waited for me to get married.
That's wonderful. And then your two children, one more time, give their names.
Jose and Marissa Rodriguez.
And their ages and what they're doing.
Jose 17 and Marissa's 15, and they attend South Grand Prairie High School, as a matter of fact.
Both of them. Isn't that
Both of
great?
them,
Both of them
yes.
are warriors.
They are. Go Warriors.
Go Warriors, go. Oh, that is really great. And after you received your master's, then what?
I started, well, I was already working. I would work contract work for
Yes.
the Child Protective Services and do home studies for them. But I also started working, did my case management internship at FCI Fort Worth when I was doing my master's degree. And then I graduated and started working as a senior therapist for MHMR in Fort Worth.
Great, great.
Yep.
What brought you to Grand Prairie, Texas?
Well,
Rosie?
No, as a matter of fact, it was Rudy Lopez that
Oh,
worked with Grand
yes.
Prairie ISD.
Oh,
They
yes.
had a position open at...
That retired last year.
Yes,
Oh.
right. And they had a position open for the homeless coordinator here in Grand Prairie, and do social work and coordinating at the same time. So I applied and got that position in 1994.
And then Christine Gonzalez comes along and
That's
claims
right.
your shot.
And she
doesn't
does a great job.
Doesn't
That is
she, though?
right, yes.
And after the homeless situation, what did you do then?
Well, I started working as a social worker there at Bonham, and then now I'm the parent liaison, parent involvement facilitator for the district right now, currently, since last year, as a matter of fact.
Now, your title now is?
Title I Parent Involvement Facilitator.
Title I Parent Involvement. And that's where I caught you the other day at Austin Elementary School with a whole room full of parents, some
right.
Spanish-speaking parents, some bilingual, and others, and they were having a tea, I believe.
That's right. Tea with Tia.
Yes, that is just wonderful. I think that was just really great. And they were so enjoying. I just bopped in for a few minutes.
Right.
I was doing a history class for second graders and bopped into that and was so impressed with all of the folks, how you had their absolute attention.
Thank you.
Isn't that great?
Yes, yes.
All right. Now we know what you do for the Grand Prairie ISD and working with parents. How do you find that now?
I love it. It's my passion. I enjoy
Better
it.
than the social work.
Oh, I still do the social work. It just goes together.
It kind of
it works
blends, doesn't
beautifully.
it?
Yes, it does. Yes.
That is really wonderful. And I know now that you work out of the Travis Elementary School, that new Travis campus that used to be Jefferson and all of the good stuff.
Right.
How do you like it at Travis?
I enjoy it very, very much. We're at the Parent Involvement Center. They're located at Travis.
Yes.
And we have several activities that we have going on there. It's a hub of activity going on at the Parent Involvement Center.
And the Parent Involvement Center, that includes you and any other teachers?
We actually have 2 community liaisons that were hired this year
great,
in addition to assist me and go to different campuses, provide activities there at the Parent Center or go to campuses as requested, and we work to support the parent involvement at the different campuses.
And in the parent involvement, your activities include what, including the parents?
Well, let me tell you.
These sessions that you have, you come
That's right.
together,
Mhm.
and then from that, do they stem questions to you and give you ideas of how they can be helped?
They do sometimes. Sometimes we'll go out into the campuses and do like the breakfast with the principal or tea with Tia or let's talk like at Houston Elementary that we just did this week, and or at Bowie Elementary we went and did breakfast with the principal, and it's just a variety of activities that we do. But at the Parent Involvement Center, let me tell you a short daily or weekly activity schedule that we have going on right there.
Let's go
if you
for it.
want. We have on Monday and Tuesday, we host the Even Start program. They provide adult ESL classes there on Monday and Tuesday morning. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, our community liaisons facilitate Inglés sin Barreras. It's English Without Barriers. It's a DVD-based curriculum.
Yes.
And we have full classes. Both of them got full, like really quick. Parents really like that program. Yeah.
Is this morning or night?
It's in the morning, 8:30 to 10:30, and then 12:30 to 2:30. And then on, we have some Fridays that we do the monthly workshops, and we provided you with a schedule, and we can talk about those.
We're going to talk about that in a minute.
That's fine. And then we, as my work schedule includes that, plus sometimes I get invited from different campuses, like you saw that other day at Austin Elementary with Tia, to talk on a particular subject, either 10 tips to help your child be successful in school, or warning signs of drugs, different things like that that may be beneficial to the parents and the students to help them be more successful at school.
Yes. And that's just a full week, and that doesn't count all of the extra things you do at night, because I have this majestic number of certificates here. That let's talk about them a little bit, because I know that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that all relate to a Boy and Girl Scouts. The Scouts, the troop numbers where you go and do things. What do you do with the Boy Scouts and the Cubs?
Right. I am the Troop 388 at our church, St. Michael the Archangel, their chairperson, and also the committee member. I've had different positions with them, and it's just an opportunity for me to spend time with my son and give to my church also and my community.
That's St. Michael?
That's right, because that's where I attend.
And y'all are building out there.
I know.
Marvelous
It's growing, yes.
Oh, yes, that is fantastic.
But my son attends that troop, and he's working on getting his Eagle project, as a matter of fact. So,
and what is he going to do for his Eagle?
He's actually going to do a project. He's working on doing something for the Brighter Tomorrows.
That is great.
Because he really likes the work that they do for our families here in Grand Prairie.
Yes, that is wonderful. And Brighter Tomorrow's having a big blowout tonight at Lone Star Park, aren't they?
I know. Their candlelight vigil, yes.
Candlelight vigil. Oh, that is wonderful. And besides all of these, I just have all of these many other certificates, but I was impressed that you were working with the youth.
Right.
Because really your expertise is working with families. Of course, that includes the youth, but doing this extra, I know you're out lots of nights doing all of these things. And how does that hamper your own family and your 2 children?
Well, we try
You're gone a lot?
I'm gone a lot, but I'm gone a lot with my kids because the troop that I volunteer at is where my son attends, So we get to spend time together, we go camping together, and that's something that I have found helpful. Try to volunteer where I can help myself and my kids at the same time preferably, but also give to the community at the same time in my church also. So that's been really good.
You need that to balance it out,
Right,
don't you?
definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
well, there's something else we need to talk about, this monthly parent workshop.
That's right.
Now, this is exciting because we need to really exploit this, don't we?
Definitely, because
Yes.
it's free.
Free, and that is wonderful. Tell me about it.
Well, we have different monthly workshops, as a matter of fact. Let me reach over here and just highlight. We have upcoming October 22nd, Keeping Your Kids Drug-Free, and October 29th, Warning Signs of Drugs. And then November 12th, Grief and Living with Loss.
Okay.
And December 10th, Anger and Stress, How to Interrupt the Process. And then in January of 2005, I know it's kind of hard to kind of plan till
That
the
far
coming
ahead.
year. However, I know how busy it gets for people, so we try to give this schedule to people so they can plan accordingly. In January 14th, we have Discipline Raising Responsible Children and Youth. And I don't know about you, but when I had my kids, nobody gave me a manual and said,
Here's
take
what'll help.
this is what'll help. And I've we try, and some things work and some things don't. So this is a very helpful one to facilitate different ideas for parents to share and know that you are not alone. February 18th, we have gang prevention, getting involved and staying involved. March 18th, citizenship information. April 15th, how to increase our self-esteem. And May 20th, summer fun activities. And we invite people. They're free. We provide child enrichment.
2 hours.
2 hours.
And at Travis?
It's at the Travis Auditorium, actually, because we've had to move it from the Parent Center to the Travis Auditorium because we're getting such a wonderful response from people.
Oh, that is good.
Yes. So we're really enjoying doing those for our families here in Grand Prairie.
You mentioned going to Bowie and Houston, and I know that you were at Austin. How many of the schools invite you to come to their campus to do different things?
Many of them. As a matter of fact, I service right now 2 middle schools, Bill Arnold and Lee Middle School, and then 17, all the Title I schools. We have 17 elementary campuses that are Title I.
17 Title I's. I didn't know that.
And then we have another one, Zavala, that'll be Title I in January. So we'll actually
You'll have
four-
18 then.
We'll have 18 elementary, 2 middle schools, so it'll be 20 Title I campuses total.
That is something else, and 2 middle. And when you go to these campuses,
Right.
here you are going to a middle school.
Right.
Now, this is a different range of age. How do you handle all of that, Esmeralda?
Well, we do the best we can. You know, we try to, my motto is team effort, teamwork. Work as a team because I am only one person. I cannot do everything alone, but when everyone works together, we definitely achieve more. So definitely work together as a team, include parents, include staff, and all of us come together and get on the same goal. And main goal is to increase parent involvement. We know that parents being involved in their child's education, their child's going to be more successful.
When
Definitely.
when I went to Austin the other day, I noticed the principal was there.
Correct.
And a couple of other teachers were
Right.
in the room.
Right.
Do you facilitate the whole group, or do you use them in your presentation, or are they just there to audit?
No, they're all there. Everybody has a
role.
role. They introduce themselves, what they're available for. We actually had a social worker there also that's assigned
Yeah.
to that campus. Talked about what they can help and assist the families with, because that's what we're all there for, to try to provide as many supportive services for the child of the family to be successful and for the family to empower the child to be successful.
Since you're working mostly with parents and you come together in the different campuses,
Right.
I'm inquisitive as to the different types of parents that you have at the middle schools and how you work with them in difference to the ones at the elementary level.
Well, and that's a challenge that we're
Yeah.
working on for the
Yeah.
secondary, to try to address how can we make sure that the parents understand that as their kids get older, they need to continue to be involved. I know I have 2 teenagers, and what I have found, I know when my kids were growing up, I was thinking, okay, once they're teenagers, I'm going to have a break, but it doesn't work that way. That's when you definitely need to be more involved, because they need to be connected to the campus and to their family so they don't be susceptible to other negative behaviors or so forth. So this is a time for parents to know that it is okay for them to continually be involved in whatever fashion and time that they have. In whatever talents that they want to share with the campus, let the campus administrator know. So they welcome parent involvement, but they need to know, okay, what time do you have? What gifts do you want to share with us? And they'll try to provide those opportunities. That's a challenge for our district, and really as a whole in our society, to what opportunities are we providing to make sure that parents know that they're needed, that they're welcome, and that we want you to be here, and we need you to be here.
Yes. Oh, that just sounds like you're preaching
I
a
know.
real good parent sermon.
Thank you.
And that's the way you get wound up for
I
all
do.
of the classes that you
I
go
do.
before. I'm also interested in what do you think is the best help for you as a parent? The schools, the church, the community, or all three, or all of it? How do you use all the different parts of the community to help your own two children?
Well, what I have found is to try to make sure that all of the ones that we talked about know that I'm sending you my best child.
Yes.
And this is the
This
only
is my
two children.
treasure.
This is my treasure. And when they're with you, it's like I want them to be safe. I want them to be their gifts and talents, really challenge them so their full potential can come out, and know this is a wonderful treasure that I want for them to turn around and share their gifts and talents with you. But give them those opportunities. And I really challenge, all our whole community, make sure that we know that our youth can give so much back to that community. I know because I see it at our church with our youth group. My kids are in the youth group, and they love doing community service. We need to make sure we provide those opportunities for our youngsters. They want to give back to the community. Sometimes we think, oh, they're just getting into trouble, but they want to give back to the community. We're providing those opportunities for our young people. Very, very important we do that.
Oh, that's a system, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
That is wonderful. Now, we have about 2.5 minutes left on this, and you mentioned your doctorate. What are you going to do with the rest of your life, Esmeralda?
Well, my challenge to myself or my passion is to continue to share my talents and gifts, my being bilingual, my experiences, my life experiences, and share it with parents, share it with young people.
Doctorate in what?
Oh, I want to be probably in social work because that's my my line, or that's more than likely what it'll be. And I want to be able to continue to be a light for people, know that they are important, they are special, they are their own unique person, they have their own gifts and talents that they can help other people and give back to other people.
And I wish we had time for you to give me the most exciting experience that you had with maybe one set of parents, and how much good you've done, and all of these other certificates that you've received of commendation for so many other things. Please look into your camera at Ron and just encourage the boys and girls to take advantage of that opportunity. And I'll wind you down in a minute.
Okay. I want to encourage all of you young people, ladies and gentlemen out there, to just do the best you can, be your best, try your best, and if it's an 80 or 100 that you get, that's great, as long as you know that you're giving your very best effort, you're being responsible, going to school on time, going to school every day unless you're sick. It's very, very important. Doesn't matter what anybody tells you out there. You know that you're going to show them that you are the very best person, and you're going to strive to show people, this is me, and I'm going to give to the community. No matter how difficult things get, at least find one caring person at whatever campus you're at that you can connect with. And if you don't find one day, keep looking for another one, because we want to make sure that you show your very best to the community in Grand Prairie.
Esmeralda, you have been wonderful today.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your life with us, and it's just wonderful the work that you do, and we appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And I want you to come back and be with us again.
I sure will, anytime.
And this is Ruthie Jackson reminding you that history is as we live and do and document it.